Well, I think it's transformed probably only in the last couple of years, because it's hit people have begun to hear more, and I think that's related to a couple of things. And one in particular, I think in the last year, the Ukraine war and the Iranian involvement in the support of the Russians, I think has made people suddenly think and begin to question and begin to want to understand a little bit more about the nature of the regime and what they're doing. So I think that probably has changed things. And then of course the activism of so many people living in the UK and elsewhere who would like to perhaps live back in Iran and will do, inshallah, when there's a better and a different regime. Well, I think it's actually begun to sort of ferment the process. 125 people, members of parliament, signed that letter in the space of like 2 or 3 days. It actually is a small percentage in many ways of the people who would support. That was done very quickly. People have to understand that if you're a minister or in part of the government, you couldn't sign such a letter. Many of those will also be supported. So I think what that's done is it's begun to make people think and see and realise. And it was there to help now. There was a letter from, I think, from some American senators. All this helps. And 125 people that signed that letter in the space of 2 or 3 days did it because this was the right thing to do, and we're trying to get the British government to do the right thing. I think the authorities here, the government, the Foreign and Commonwealth and Development Office, I think they understand the nature of the regime. For them, it's a decision of how to then manifest or what they really need to do and so forth. We are pushing, of course, for proscription of the IRGC. As I said to the Foreign Secretary last night, and I say publicly on the floor of the House of Lords, I have no idea what else the IRGC need to do to be proscribed in this country. You know, we proscribed Hamas, Hezbollah, and if you like, the IRGC are the godfather, the overarching, and I don't know what else they need to do. So I think that's in their consciousness. They have to look at a lot of things, and a whole geostrategic situation, and decide about, British people who are British citizens living in Iran and so on. So there's a wider thing. The message is getting through, I'm sure it is. Well, you hear it. I mean, there is an argument which says that, if there is an embassy in Tehran, and there are issues that need to be people being looked after, or issues to be raised, without an embassy, it becomes very difficult. And I guess the calculation is that if IRGC are proscribed here, the embassy will be shut in Tehran, and then other things then happen where you perhaps need that embassy. That is the argument. I don't buy it entirely. And I think, if something is wrong, it's wrong. If people are doing wrong, they're doing wrong, and they need to face those consequences. I think these adding names and stuff is, it's a bit like, my name has been added by the Iranian regime. The prescription is the right thing to do. It stops activity in the UK. It stops the raising of funds, and that's what needs to happen. So I'm not sure whether this idea of the naming individuals is the train is on the way to the destination of it, or I don't know. I'm not an expert in this. All I know is that we will continue to call for a prescription. And the message is very simple. Look, it's very easy for me to stand up and speak about prescription of IRGC and so on, and support Vahid, who has been on hunger strike. That's easy. That's the easy stuff. Actually, the hard stuff, the really dangerous stuff, is what the people in Iran themselves, you, are doing to try and bring about a regime that will bring about peace, bring about not only peace and tranquility for the people of Iran, but because of what the regime are doing in the region and beyond, it will be bringing peace and tranquility to the whole of the region. And so the brave people, the real brave people, are those in Iran trying to move to a better future. And I wish them well.